Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, so let's just dive in and let's talk about a few things. So, first and foremost, we do have this tweet from Stuart Alderoty here. He is talking about this thread from Susan Friedman, who is the head of public policy at Ripple. And it is a thread on what is happening around, the Senate. And this is actually happening this week, by the way. This is a huge update around things within regulatory compliance, regulatory, discussions within crypto. And we do see here, this week, Senate AG Dems will be holding a hearing to discuss the Digital Commodities Consumer Protection Act, DCCPA, which will give CFTC oversight of spot digital asset markets. There's a lot to, like about this bipartisan effort, but to resolve current regulatory ambiguity, the bill's proposed definition of digital commodity needs to be updated in two key ways. First, take out individual token callouts as examples of digital commodities. It does nothing to resolve the absurd and unacceptable regulatory limbo that exists for the vast majority of tokens and projects today. Second, securities are excluded from the definition of digital commodity without any clarification as to what the term means. This is why regulation by enforcement continues to persist today. And also, the House Digital Commodity Exchange Act tackles the issue by precisely defining which assets are excluded from the definition of digital commodity, e.g., any asset that conveys an entitlement to any interest or dividend payment. A similar approach could work here too. We appreciate the careful attention to crypto from the House and Senate AG committees. If these definitional issues are resolved, these bills could have real and lasting impact on consumers and industry rather than maintain the current innovation stifling status quo. And yes, 100%. When we talk about things happening around this current market, it is the idea of not knowing what any sort of thing is really kind of, when we look at, regulations, right? Just like from Ripple's standpoint, there was no clarification on anything in regards to the regulatory standards. So when you look at things like that, this is why the regulation by enforcement agenda keeps getting pushed. And I do agree. I think that when we really kind of look at what the SEC is doing, we need clear insights. There's no insight at all on what determines an asset to be a security or not. Also, there's no, guidelines for these companies to follow at all within crypto. So, we are watching for a lot of these major hearings. We are watching for events that could possibly, give us a little bit of an insight on that, but also things that could move the needle in regards to, regulatory clarity around crypto. And we do see down here from XRP Crypto Wolf, Gary Gensler is getting chewed out this week by Congress, and 100%. He is. A lot of people say, I don't think so. Like, usually everyone will be very polite and no one will ask, strict questions with dominance. I actually think that this is wrong. I think that we will see a lot of updates from this. And even over here, breaking from Chris Giancarlo, he says that he thinks that the CFTC will control crypto because they're focused on innovation, unlike the SEC. And I completely agree. Also, if you guys do want to go and check out the source for this, he does do a full-on interview with Thinking Crypto 1 over on YouTube. It is a pretty incredible video. I think that everyone should go check it out, especially if you want to learn more about the digital dollar project, as well as CBDCs with Ripple. And there's so much more to really kind of digest within this video. So I definitely advise all of you to go check it out. I'll leave a link down in the comments below, as well as in the description below. I think everyone that is watching this market closely, specifically around the SEC case, should go and check it out, because I do completely agree. I do believe that at the end of the day, the CFTC or just Congress in general will move the needle around, regulatory basis before the SEC even does anything. Again, remember, the SEC doesn't really determine much. We could still see the CFTC, or any of these major, agencies move the needle faster than the SEC, because they do have, jurisdiction over these markets compared to what the SEC actually is. I've always said this, like, the SEC doesn't really determine much around crypto because they are overreaching in regards to their power and their boundaries. So to me personally, I do think that the CFTC is going to be the one. I think that they will, come into this market and bring regulatory clarity for all of these assets because, again, they do believe in innovation. And if you are in support of innovation, why wouldn't you want crypto to have clarity? At the end of the day, crypto, there's so much potential in this market. I mean, trust me, I get it. There's a lot of garbage too. And that's why I do think that regulations need to be put in place because that is going to really kind of shake out the trash, and we will be left with that 1%, that 1% that truly matters, that 1% that will be the blue chip stocks of tomorrow, that will be Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Apple, etc. So that's what we are waiting for. That's what we are watching for, and I do hope that this really does see the day, or the light of day. And also, when we really kind of look at things happening around this market, I share with you guys this tweet from Anderson over on Twitter. And this is talking about things happening around this market. More so, when things take a long time, people assume it's a failure without realizing how extremely slow-moving and conservative banks are. And this does kind of play the role of I see so many comments on this channel. Trust me, I see you guys. I see you guys all the time. I know that I don't really, interact quite a bit just because a lot of comments do get lost in all of the scams. And trust me, I have been trying to moderate it the best that I can. But honestly, YouTube is a nightmare. And I do think that at the end of the day, YouTube is making a ton of money. It is owned by Google. So at the end of the day, they should be moderating, these bots a lot better. But, again, we see the problem with Twitter as well. We are seeing a lot of issues with these scams. So I'm trying my best, guys. Trust me, it's hard to stay on top of it, especially when you do see 100 different, scam comments in the first 5 minutes. But I do see you guys, and I see a lot of the comments kind of playing into the role of XRP will never, morph into anything because for years and years and years it did nothing. But I want you guys to understand that even during this time where we do see a lawsuit, where we do see XRP being delisted from every single major exchange, it is still in the top 10. Think about how crazy that is. HBAR is not even in the top 10. QNT is not even in the top 10. XDC is not even in the top 10. Algorand, I could go on for days mentioning these projects that are not in the top 10, but are incredible projects. XRP, through everything, through all of the issues, through, the nightmares that every XRP holder had to endure, is still in the top 10. And if that doesn't show you XRP in regards to its power and its potential, then I don't know what will. It also goes to show that XRP is still being utilized. We just mentioned this in yesterday's video. And we do see down here opinion, and yes, this is a very broad opinion, but I do think that this is 100% accurate. Opinion, large barriers to use XRP at the time and still regulations connecting everything with current systems, liquidity. Everything is being worked on, but not expecting it to take many years from that time would have been extremely optimistic in my opinion. And yes, 100%. I mean, these things are going to take time. And this goes all the way back to 2016, by the way. This is 6 years ago almost. It's actually coming up on 6 years next month. And we do see Ripple and R3 team up with 12 banks to trial XRP for cross-border payments. XRP will be the cross-border payment king. In my opinion, it 100% is. The reason why is because of the efficiencies behind it. But these things do take time to morph into reality. Again, remember, you don't get massive, think about crypto, right? All of crypto has been around for well over 10 years now. And we're not even at the point in time of mass adoption. I would argue that 2020 was the time where things kind of started to get a little bit more exciting, but we're still not even anywhere near mass adoption. We're still sitting at a $1 trillion market cap. It's laughable, but it does show you just how long it takes things to morph into reality. And I do believe that at the end of the day, we will see XRP become that giant that everyone has touted it to become. I also don't believe that when we look at XRP and we kind of compare it to, market cap potential, I see a lot of people say that XRP will never hit $1 or, $10 trillion market cap value. I don't like to say never. Okay, to me, I think that XRP, with how much money, XRP as a token is disrupting from Ripple's side of the, things, I think that $1 trillion is just the beginning. Anything after that, and anyone that is in this market at this current moment in time is going to be extremely wealthy. But also, when you actually look at where XRP is positioned, right? I kind of shared with you guys back in 2019. again, because like if we're going back in time, like here's 2016, here's 3 years after that, where 38 of the top 100 banks were utilizing Ripple technology. Were they utilizing XRP? It's hard to say, but I would say that they would have some major exposure to XRP. And you can kind of see the status over here on what they are trying to do. Like there's a lot of trials, there's a lot of customer bases here. A lot of this kind of bleeds all the way back to, SBI. SBI has always been like the big giant around Ripple. But this was top, like the top, 100 banks globally. And 38 of them were utilizing, Ripple technology. And again, they all had some exposure to XRP, and there was still a lot of NDAs in place at that current moment in time. Since then, a lot of things have happened. We have been seeing a lot of updates around Ripple with XRP, and I did tweet out on Twitter, I said, 38 of the top 100 banks were using Ripple and XRP back in 2019. And yes, I did say and XRP because I do believe that they were. And I said if there was no SEC lawsuit, and noting the recent adoption of crypto itself, would it be crazy to believe that 75 of the top 100 banks would be using XRP by now? Again, we don't know how many banks would be utilizing XRP right now, or Ripple, if you want. But I will say this, okay? Some of these banks are very large names. For an example, this is in the billions. $2,812 billion. That is $2.8 trillion in total assets. When you look at this, okay, and you kind of look at some of the other partnerships that we do see in this, market. Now, yes, sure, Ripple is not XRP. XRP is not Ripple. But like I said, these banks have some sort of exposure to XRP. These are massive giants globally. Global names that people are aware of. And I know that this is 2019, but again, is it hard to, say, yeah, it's 2019. Since then, a lot has happened around this market. If there was no SEC lawsuit, would XRP, have some exposure to, way more than 38 of the top 100 banks, maybe 50 plus, 75 plus. We don't know the specific number, but all we do know is that if you go over to Ripple's website, and with all of these connections to Ripple, all of these major partners and customers of Ripple, and if you go over to the, customer base over here, and you actually look at like the customer overview, or even just like the customer case studies, and you also see like some of the featured, use cases with CM Commercial Bank, for example, these are major innovations that are happening right now in this market. This is things happening now. This is things that you could show someone that doesn't understand crypto and just show them this and show them, okay, well, this is what crypto's actually doing. Because right now, a big thing around crypto is that it's always going to be utilized for thieves. It is a, scammer's token. It is a, it's crypto is just for, criminals, whatever. But showing them this and showing them how it's disrupting core processes around the world in regards to, banking and financial use cases, that's huge. And yes, it's all proven here. Like you can look through all of their, major partnerships, and it's all proven. This is also why I say that keep track of some of these partnerships. Because yes, although most of them might be utilizing Ripple at this current moment in time, right? I mean, it would be ignorant to say, yeah, all of them are utilizing XRP right now, because they're not. In fact, there's a big barrier to success around XRP as a token. Like, sure, we did account for 1/4 of transactional volume in regards to on-demand liquidity, but there's still that big barrier, that massive barrier, and that is regulation discussions. You're looking at, interoperability. Interoperability is a big key problem. That's why I do believe that Ripple is working with Quant closely on a lot of their projects, but also liquidity. And you might be wondering, well, like, what the heck? Why does liquidity matter? Doesn't XRP provide on-demand liquidity? Yes, they do. But the big issue here is regulations. Liquidity is a big, aspect, sure. But XRP needs to be priced higher in order for liquidity to be a little bit better, if that makes sense. We've actually broken this down utilizing what David Schwartz kind of gave us. If XRP is valued higher, and allows, for Ripple to go after larger corridors. I think that is what they are waiting for, and I think that the adoption cycle of XRP going into the next major bull run might actually open, the gates for that. But I also think that there's not enough price data to go off of in regards to XRP. I know that that kind of sounds crazy to think about because XRP is a very, long-term asset going back to like, 2012. It's the fact that like in 2017, 2018, yeah, sure, we've seen the potential of XRP in regards to price action. But this, like 2021, we didn't really get to see the price action of XRP because, again, it was stifled by the SEC. So right now, we are watching for these major updates around the SEC. We are watching, a lot of things happening in regards to, regulations because I would argue that this is going to open a tsunami of money and adoption for XRP. The value, the volume, that will go hand in hand and cause an eruption like no one has ever seen before in regards to XRP's price action, but also XRP's potential. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe to notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, hope that you all have a beautiful day, beautiful night, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. It's been Nick. Peace out, guys.